everybody. I am here at Disney's Hollywood Studios today at my favorite attraction, Baseline Tap House. It is a chilly 95-degree day in Florida right now, literally soaking wet through my clothes. So I needed a break. I needed to grab a drink, and one of my good friends is in town and visiting, and if you've been watching this channel for a hot second, you know him, you love him, I think. You've said some positive things. I mean, maybe I'm just trying to blow his ego up right now, but we have Trey.
It feels like you love me, so let's just go with that.
You love me. I want your acceptance speech by the end of this. Trey went to his very first D23 this past weekend. If you've been watching the channel, you might have known he did the recap of the entertainment showcase and the experiences showcase with me. And it was really cool to be able to do that with a first timer. And then my friend Diane was in the second one, and that was her second version of that. I love having this experiences, like seeing everybody do it for the first time or repeating it, because this one was like my sixth time. And I know I talk about this all the time, but there is a little bit, like, not to be cheesy, there's a little bit of magic about D23. I feel like I always end up making like a friend, or there's a special experience to be had. But that's not to say that there aren't good or there aren't bad things that happen here, or things that you're like, oh, I would love if they worked on this for next time, or whatever. So I thought it would be fun since you're in town again, Trey. I promise I didn't shove him in a suitcase and take him here.
I'm just following him and stalking him from coast to coast.
Help. Someone send help. No. Since you were here, I was like, oh, it's Wednesday as of recording this. D23 ended on Sunday.
It did.
I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of a breakdown about what it was like for your first experience at D23, but also like the things that you're still excited about now on Wednesday. Because right. I have seen a little bit of sort of I don't know, pushback, or like online where people are basically being like, oh, you got a repaired Yeti, this thing, and what else? I don't know, So I'm just curious to say, like, first of all, thank you for being in that live stream with me. I really enjoyed doing it. I thought it was great with you and Diane. It ended, and I was literally like, that's exactly the vibe I want. I love just sitting with somebody and just talking about this thing that we're all like big nerds about, and that we're just like, oh yeah, I want to know. I mean, you especially, you were like, get me into these panels. I want to know about designing spaces. I said
I want to know about all the things that are happening so that I can.
What did you say to me? You were like, I pre-ordered Joe Rohde's book.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, you're a big Disney fan.
Oh no,
You're bigger than you're deeper. You're a deeper diver into the details than me.
You said it, not me.
I'm just saying. I never pretend to be an expert.
I am a big Disney fan, and I love the whole reason I love Disney. And then I became like an architect and designer, in my adult life, is that I love the idea of storytelling and using spaces to do that, and like really crafting experiences for people. So I can't help but kind of dive into the details a little bit more.
Well, I think I went to film school, and I feel like that's also another like medium of storytelling. And so it's interesting that it all comes back to storytelling. It's cool. But I'm just curious to think, like, we got really lucky, and we both separately originally had like 400 seats, and then I had somebody who reached out and was like, hey, I have these seats we're not going to use. They're in the 200 level. And so I told you, where I was like, hey, I know you're coming. Do you want to come down here and sit with me? And we ended up with like these amazing seats, like right off the floor, to have this experience. So I need to know. And also, like, this is only the second time you've been at a showcases or entertainment. Sorry, the showcases, like the entertainment, the legends, and the experiences things. I've been in the Honda Center where you were able to order a drink, a food item, a snack, popcorn, whatever.
Right.
So you're a little spoiled. We used to just go hungry.
Oh no,
things, so
no,
just
baby.
let you know.
We had tequila, we had popcorn, my emotional support popcorn.
Emotional support popcorn.
It was great. No.
I'm just curious, like, now it's Wednesday. What sticks with you? Is there a moment? It doesn't have to be from those showcases specifically, but just overall the weekend. Like, I want to know some pros, I want to know some cons, but like, what's sticking with you, or you're like, this is the thing I keep thinking about back from D23, or is there anything that you keep thinking about?
I will say that, so I'll answer that question by
I want a 5-part answer.
I'm going to give you a 5-part answer because I can't
Intro,
help it.
1, 2, 3, conclusion.
2A.
Thank you,
2A, Roman numeral 3.
Yes, please,
No, like, Diane asked me, I think it was towards the last day when we were having dinner at Lamplight, she was like,
lobster nachos for the win. You couldn't have them
I
because
couldn't
you're
have
allergic.
them.
What did you eat though?
I had the Dan Dan noodles.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was so obsessed with those lobster nachos, I couldn't look up.
We had very specific thoughts about the noodles, where you get them if you're hungry because they are just okay.
Oh, are these good? And you're like, I'm hungry.
I'm
and
hungry.
I was like, oh, that tells me what I need to know. Yeah.
They were perfectly average.
Yeah.
No, but she asked me, she's like, would you ever come back again? And I said, yes, but strong caveat to that. Like, I think I would love to come back, but I think I have a better idea about what I'm getting myself into. Like, not that
it can be overwhelming.
It was very overwhelming. And I think I made this point to you that I said that it's now just this, it's a concentrated version of what it's like to go to Disney World now in a way that like I haven't experienced in a while because I go all the time. And so, you know, when I go, I can, you know, pick and choose what I do.
You're like you're well traveled at this point.
And like trained on the do's and don'ts of coming to Disney World. That's exactly what going to D23 is like, where it is, if you don't,
you kind of have to have,
you have to have it planned.
Yeah.
No, you have to have it planned. You have to know what you're going for. Like, and that was a little,
I will say that was like very present this year. This year I think is the first year that they didn't have like the individual like sellers marketplace where like you'd find like, I don't know, the Etsy sellers, let's say, you know, the artists, the things like that. And I feel like I noticed that a lot. And so like that to me was a little bit of a ding, but I was telling you, and I told Diane, basically anybody that would listen, I was saying that, you know, I've had this experience before because I used to go to the official Power Rangers convention. It was called like Power MorphCon, but it started before it was officially sponsored.
Yeah.
But as soon as it was officially sponsored, I remember going to the first one and then the next one I think got officially sponsored or something. But a lot of those like sellers where you would find like, oh, this person had made a replica of their communicator. Somebody had done some fan art. Those sellers aren't there at an officially sponsored event because they could trigger a cease and desist, you know, a dispute with something like that. So it is that to me is a little bit of a bummer because for me, like when I go to like MegaCon here in Orlando or something, I spend most of my time in Artist Alley. Like I am going up and down. I'm looking for the really creative souvenir. I'm looking for the things that like people are creating that are unique that I can kind of only get here. And I've been lucky to find a lot of that. I do feel like that was missing a little bit from this for sure. And I definitely felt exactly what you were talking about. I mean, like you were reading my mind when you were saying it was very much like that Walt Disney World vacation where like, even to just go to some of these booths, you really had to have had a reservation. So like I never went into the studio store. Like I never got to go into it.
Had you not told me about the reservation thing for the merch lines, I would not have like.
Well, I got you into the marketplace because I had an extra one because Diane also had one. But one day it was just me and Diane for like the NSYD, the period NYSD stuff, and then she and I were also the only ones that got to go into Imagineering because only one of us got it. I was the only one in the room who got it. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, and that did kind of. I was also saying to you that, like, I think that it really brought out the whole capitalism flaw of this whole Disney life.
But it was all. It also felt like all that capitalism was one source.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm supporting.
No.
It was like we're all going up that one tree trunk.
Right. Because like the couple of things that I got from booths that weren't necessarily Disney, like an official Disney company, like. Oh, I'm forgetting Cakeworthy.
Well, I will tell you, to make your purchase feel validated, the Cakeworthy, like the Mickey ears beanie you got, sold out. So just so you know, and it didn't come back online or anything.
If you want to give me like $700 for it, I got one. I got the Cakeworthy beanie, but
it's engraved D23 on the side, or embroidered, I should say, not engraved, but yeah.
No. But yeah, the Cakeworthy, the Blackwing notebook that I got that.
Oh yeah, you showed me that. Yeah,
like stuff like that. So cool. The line was so short for it, and I got to talk to the creators, or not creators, but the people that worked for Blackwing and Cakeworthy that explained the product and told me about how the Blackwing pencils were the pencils that original animators used to use.
So I didn't know this till you said it right now.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Because you showed me that notebook and I was like, oh, it's cool. You can slide the pencil in the side or whatever. I had no clue.
No, people were going just to buy the pencils because they had like Mickey all over them, and they were saying that those were the original. Like there's a Blackwing pencil on Walt's desk.
Oh, that's really cool.
In Burbank. So yeah, I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So those vendors were really great to go to. But to your point, like everything else was so concentrated in the 5 or 6 different like Disney official marketplaces that you almost had to plan your day around going to those and standing in line at those booths.
Yeah, you really did. Honestly, it was hard because I think it was the Friday. Yeah, I think it was the Friday. Is like the reservations for I had the Imagineering reservations for that store.
Yeah.
Or the Mickey's of Glendale, which is the Imagineering collection, and it wasn't moving at all for hours. And so I finally was like, well, we've got to eat. So we like left the convention, and there was at the hotel we were staying at Weston. Diane and Bill and I went to meet our friend Heidi and her daughter, and we had lunch at a Mexican restaurant right there. It was delicious, but literally just ordered the drink and the food, and they were like, you have to come back. And so like luckily the cast member was nice enough to let me in when I got back, but I was like, there was no way. And I felt like that time frame that they gave us wasn't long enough. So it was a little bit of that where I was just like, oh, this just felt a little, I don't know, a little gross. Also, at least this year you did get to wake up at 6, because last year to do a shopping thing you had to wake up at 4.
No way.
Yeah, 4 a.m., which is insane. So I definitely didn't do that at all. I only went into stores that either somebody else had gone in or I had, or they did end up doing standby. But I know the Walt Disney Studio Store never ended up doing standby because I tried to go in on that last day after we did the Legends panel.
I don't know why Disney feels the need to market what they're selling at the convention, because
you shouldn't. So you think it should just be blind, like a blind box? You just go in,
go in and see.
Actually, I think that would alleviate a lot of
that,
or it would make people more stressed. I don't know, but still.
And then they claim to always that
would help with the resellers. I
was just about to say they limit how many things you can buy because of all the resellers. But like, if you want to eliminate the resellers, like stop marketing. You're promoting. You're
basically like, hey, here's the thing you could go buy and resell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so I just that whole the buying and selling of it all felt a little gross to me.
Also, there's this thing where they'll be like, it's D23 exclusive, but then I get it. Some of the stuff isn't popular and it ends up online, or it will actually be coming to the thing. So like that part, I'm also like, it's either exclusive or it's not.
Right. But outside of the merch of it all, I thought it was a super fun event. I would have loved to have seen.
I would have liked a couple more. I think panels, because my problem is the only panels I was interested in were always after 5 p.m. They were literally like the Bob's Burgers one. This happened last time too, the Simpsons one. They're always, and I get it. They're like, well, we have to make programming for people that are at the convention just the same. And I was like, that's actually not fair because we technically paid way more and we still have a convention ticket. So the convention should be for everybody. And those people should be free to do whatever they want at the end of the night because they didn't get a Honda Center ticket.
Right.
So I hate that mentality. I don't think it's great. And I was mad about that because you're right. The Rewind concert, there was a Bob's Burgers panel. I can't remember the other one, but there was a Muppets panel with Seth MacFarlane, and those were like, I didn't think that was very cool. And they did that same thing last year. So I'd love to see them be a little more fair with that sort of stuff, since you have to get a lottery to get into these panels anyways.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether you're going to the Honda Center or the other thing. Everybody's got the same chance to get in. And if anything, you're screwing out the people. I don't know.
Well, and also, why go to the Honda Center for the parks and experiences or the Legend ceremony
if you're just live streaming?
If you're just going to live stream it anyways, like at this point, because like next time I don't see a need in going to those two showcases.
I honestly, there's a part of me, and it's not just being like a creator or something like that, and I honestly hate using that word that way, but like, if anything, it would have been easier to just have a concurrent live stream set up so that we could watch it all at the same time and I could be live reacting to what they're doing or be ready to go the second it's done. And I'm not saying that they should cater this around creators or anything in that way, but it was still one of those things where I was like, okay, well, we just paid you. I looked. The tickets that we ended up in were $1,000 each
I also
seat.
saw that.
And I was like, $1,000 for the 3 nights to do that, to just be the audience to fill in the crowd when you live stream it to Disney Plus. Why not just do this on Disney Plus? It used to be I am grateful not to have to sleep overnight in the convention center to try and get in this or anything like that. But like, I do feel that same way where I was kind of like, I wish they had just chopped it up. I feel like, and then like picked and choose, so that there was still some special moments that could have happened in the room, especially since this is the second D23 in a row. There was no swag with any of these panels. You used to get posters, figures, whatever, a coin, something every year. And it used to be, some of my most prized possessions are these like the original poster for like Force Awakens. Like I have it because Harrison Ford came out and they're like, we're gonna give them all out at the end. Or I had a Mickey figure from the Disney Infinity set or whatever.
Right.
Like,
well, technically we did. We got cold brew.
We got
cold brew.
Jr.'s cold brew.
We got Robert RDJ's cold brew.
We got a set of 4.
And 4 out of what, 9
10.
or 10? 10 Oswald cards.
With no idea about how to trade, because if they're exclusive only to this event, I was like,
And if the pack doesn't come with duplicates, then
what are you doing? I don't know.
Right.
So that's where I was just like, okay, the math ain't mathing on that. So
I will say I did go into this expecting.
Also, don't take the bus. We had a whole thing.
No buses, no shuttles.
Just pay for a car.
Pay for the car. It's gonna be fine. But I do, and I also think that like in 2028, post all of the construction they have around the
convention center,
the Honda Center, it'll probably be a little bit better. But
they used to be able to, I think, drop you like in a loop right at the front, and they just can't do it right now because of that construction.
That will be much better. But I will say that the one expectation I went into this with was that I was gonna, I don't know, get more exclusive. Like I was gonna feel
you were gonna feel like like, oh, not everybody at home could have gotten
anything that I'd gotten or done what I did. And
I have to tell you, the last time that they held the Marvel, the Disney parks, like the experiences were at the convention center still. So that would have been like 2019. I mean, there were big things. Like I remember going with Craig, and like every one of the Avengers came out on stage. So I saw them all in one room at the same time.
I knew I was going to see at least 5.
And like,
I got 3. So I was like,
I know. And that was the thing where I was like, some of that felt a little less like important. I don't know. And so I feel like some of those big moments that you're like, well, I also saw a trailer for the Avengers that never got released. I saw previews for movies. I saw scenes of movies at a time. I feel like that's what we saw a lot.
We saw The Simpsons.
We'd see a trailer and we'd see a scene. We did see, I don't think that came out. So you're right. I think that was one of the things, maybe. But yeah. I feel like they keep pulling back. And I get it. They're trying to balance the two things. But I don't know. There is something where I'm like, you got to add a little more value and worth to this thing.
Right. That's what I walked away feeling like, even though, that was my kind of negative takeaway, was I did feel like there wasn't a whole lot of value in the tangible things that we experienced. But that being said, being in Anaheim, being across the street from Disneyland, being with like all of these, I think for me, the thing that would bring me back is being around a bunch of people, to your point before, being around a bunch of people that are just Disney nerds and that like are gonna dress up and like Disney bound, and it was just
they're gonna know every little reference.
Yeah, they're gonna know every single. Or they're gonna make some obscure references. But it was so cool to be around people like that, and like in a room full of people that get you. You know what I mean? Like,
where you're like, oh, I'm not the nerdiest person in the room right now. It's like that's what happens sometimes, where you're like, I feel like for people like us who come to Disney a lot. I mean, obviously I live in Orlando right now, but you know what I mean? Like somebody like you who's like, you oftentimes are probably the person in the room who knows more about Disney than anybody else. But in that situation, you're the novice, and there's the other. You know, you're around the experts.
And that was nice.
It's cool.
I like to not be the smartest person in the room for a change.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. It's a hard life.
It's a hard life
when you are most of the time. Yeah. I know. I feel your pain. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So is there something that happened during the weekend that stuck with you, that you were like, ooh, this was really cool to be in the room in the moment and be like, really enjoy it? I know that you were very emotionally reactive at the Legends panel. I
was about to say the Legends panel because that Lin-Manuel Miranda tribute, just, I don't know, something unlocked in me. I said, I think I'm more of a fan of his than I thought I was.
I had no clue. And you were like, I could see it. You had like tears coming down your face. And I was like,
tear.
What's happening? I mean, it was cool. It was neat because it like one person after another, comes out and they're singing this original song written for Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the different for like, you know, sort of
with
like
the sampling some of his songs.
sampling some of
that
the stuff.
he wrote from Disney. It was
cool.
That was good. I loved feeling
him
that.
opening his VHS case.
Oh.
Do you know? Oh, I was going to tell you. Did you see that?
So good.
Him and his dad met Jodie Benson after that.
Shut up.
And she signed the case.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Stop,
so I was like,
I'm gonna cry all over again.
The dad said that was his case from when he was a kid.
Oh,
And I was like,
God.
that was really sweet.
That's so
yeah,
good.
that was cute.
See, those are the kind of like.
I've heard rumors that he's not nice.
Well, sure, none of them are.
But I'm also like, they also live in a different reality than us. So
yeah,
I
can't expect them
But I
to
still
be,
am like, that doesn't mean it wasn't important to them or something, you know?
Even my naive brain, like hearing him read from that case, he can be whoever he is. These are celebrities.
I'm not gonna
so
know
like,
them.
I'm never gonna know them, nor do I care to.
Yeah.
But like hearing that they actually are, and because they're like Disney fans. Like they wouldn't. Disney pays them a lot of money.
Doesn't it make you feel a little
but,
better
yeah.
when you're like, oh, we actually like this thing that we're doing? Which one of them
it was
joked
so
about being
obvious.
like, oh, it was The Rock, who was
Yeah.
like, well, we get Disney tickets for life.
Right.
I think it was
And
him.
he for sure went to Josh Tomorrow after that panel and was like, no, I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
You do know I get Disney tickets for life now. Because they love Disney. So again, back to being in a room full of Disney nerds, I was also in a room full of celebrity Disney nerds.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
It was cool to be like, I can see the face of this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were close enough that I felt like we were like, I can see you. Like, I thought Anne Hathaway was really cool because we saw her twice.
Yeah.
And that second time she came out, she got like emotional accepting that Disney Legends Award.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Like, I know she's an Academy Award winning actress, but I've always been an Anne Hathaway fan. Even when the internet was like, you gotta hate her because she won an Oscar. And she was like, honest. Oh, the whole thing is she won the Oscar for Les Mis.
Yes.
And when she came up, she held it, she looked at it, and she said it came true. And the internet turned on her and was like, ugh. It's because she's a woman who admitted what she loved.
Oh.
And people were like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I refuse to dislike this. She's an incredible actress. And I don't care. Maybe she's awful. Maybe she's whatever. But it's still, I don't know.
best
It's like
pair
watching her
of-
be emotional. She
Yes.
talks about her kids and
Yes.
stuff. I don't
Yes.
know. I saw as one of the panels where I almost skipped this year. I almost skipped the Legends one. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought the Bob Iger tribute, I get it. And I'm glad they acknowledged it. Him being like, oh, an executive in a room of blah, blah, blah. I actually really was happy that we were there for that part because it was cool, one, to see Harrison Ford again. But then also, I think Bob Iger was emotional when he got the award. And he did still emphasize, like, it's about storytelling. It's about storytellers. It's about the story and saying, like, it's not me, the executive. It's the people who tell the stories. And he collects people that tell the stories. And I was like, okay.
Well, because you have to think it's also like one of the last things that he'll get to do, or like one of the last moments he
Is
gets
own
to
the
have
Lakers.
to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also that.
Yeah,
They
there was
made
a lot
so
of
many
Lakers
jokes.
jokes.
They
Yeah.
made so many jokes about that, and
Yeah.
it didn't dawn. Like I went back to work yesterday and was talking about the weekend, and somebody was like, "Didn't Bob Iger just about the Lakers?" And I was like, "Yeah, I found that out this weekend." So
Well,
that's
I
great.
actually, speaking of that, I liked the ESPN guys thing too. I
yeah.
thought that was really cool and honest and sweet.
I was gonna say there were two moments that you talked that stick out in my head. One of them was, and these are both like people that commit to the bit and like really it means something to them. So there was the surprise during the experiences panel at the very end with
with Neil Patrick Harris.
No. Oh, God,
with
no.
Cruella de Vil. With Glenn
Correct. I said
Close.
no. I said,
Hey, do you know
I love
online
NPH,
people
but
said
no.
that she messed up the line delivery or something,
people
and
need
they
to find
ruined the
something else to do.
punchline,
It's
and I
okay.
was kind of like, what? I was like, I didn't care. I just got to see her do the
Right.
laugh. Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't think we noticed.
saw that.
Yeah.
We witnessed that.
No,
thing
that was
now.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's still
Yeah.
there, and honestly, I don't think we noticed the flub up because
Oh, I couldn't even hear
I
what
was
she was saying. It was
screaming.
just
I
like,
was
"Wow."
melting in my seat.
That and Gloria Gaynor.
Oh.
You were just like, you don't know what you're witnessing.
So let me
I'll
tell
always
y'all,
think about
the
that.
room, it might have, Gloria Gaynor might have, I think I said this on the
You
live
did.
stream, but like the room just wasn't hype enough for Gloria Gaynor. Anyway, I'm going to,
okay. Well, yeah.
I'm going to go back and watch the live
Yeah.
stream. We talked about it a little bit. But I will also say that the second moment that stood out to me as like the most special was a man whose name I don't even remember. and it was which is so terrible, but it's the animator that
Eric Goldberg.
Eric Goldberg, thank you.
I only know because I edited the video of the thing recently, him going around in the thing. Yeah. Not I only know. He's very deserving of what he
I knew
achieved.
his face,
yes.
and I knew his work.
I just don't know animators and people in that sense. I'm not,
Which makes it even more of a point that like that was such a special moment, because like when do we get to celebrate animators in the same way that we celebrate these celebrities that, you know, go into it, not to minimize what they do, but they go into a booth for a couple hours.
When he thanked Robin Williams, I was like, oh God, I'm going to get emotional. When he's like, this was good company to keep.
Yeah, the whole room stood up for him, and it was such a deserving moment because it's like somebody that has shaped storytelling for this company in such a way.
I feel like it was we're really privileged to have been in that room to be able to hear him speak in person.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but like listening and watching his vibe and his mannerisms and stuff, and I was like,
you can see all the characters.
Of course, you're the guy who made the genie. Like, of course, you're the guy who
every
made
little
Phil,
thing
you know?
in it. Yeah.
And so some of those, I was like, maybe get lost in the editing, but like being there, the way he just like walked up to the mic. It was like so he was a cartoon character. I don't know. I love that. And I was like, and I keep thinking about that too. So it's funny that you bring that up, because I was like, ooh, that was really special.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's cool. It was cool to be there, not to quote Lin-Manuel Miranda, but it was cool to be in the room where it happens.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, and that's the thing. I feel like D23 for me is a culmination of the weekend. Mm-hmm. It's not an individual day. It's not an individual thing. It's like the culmination of these sort of like magical experiences that sort of start to happen where you already said it. Like, it's like being in that room, you're like feeding off of the energy and the vibe and just being like, oh, you like Disney? I like Disney. I like Disney. And it's a very like, hey, nice shirt. Nice shirt to you.
I had a smile on my face from the time I landed in Anaheim to the time my plane took off.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a fun, it was such like it was a weekend that just filled my belly.
I just feel like my recommendation for people would be like, unless you have already gone to Disneyland and you've already experienced it, do not try and wedge the two things together unless you are coming early enough or staying late enough to do it. Do not think I'm going after. Do not think I'm going in between. Don't do any of that stuff.
I wish I had been able to go to the convention center, like not the Sunday, but the Friday before. Or like, because I only went to the convention center Saturday. So I wish I would have gone. Oh, yeah,
because you came in later on Friday.
Yeah, I came in late Friday. Yeah. So I only got to go to the panel.
I'm glad I always do Friday because it gives me the lay of the land. I do that up, down, back, and forth.
I feel like by the time Saturday came around, people kind of knew where to go.
Yeah, and it's hard because they're darting and you're like trying to...
Yeah.
But also you're like, okay, mentally you can sort of do the scan and be like, okay, I know I want to wait in line for this experience if I can. Right. You know,
But I'd also say that if it's your first time, that one day is probably enough for you to get your feet wet without being because it's overwhelming. Like it is overwhelming. I mean, it's 4 big halls.
Somebody who this was his 6th time, overwhelming the whole time. Yeah. Literally walked in the convention. I don't even think I had my grounding even until maybe the end of the 2nd day.
No.
So that's a lot from somebody who's done it like 6 times, slept in that convention center, had a booth at that convention center. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So like, it's exactly what you said. It's very much like you need to go in with that Walt Disney World vacation planning mentality a little bit. You know, it's not your typical convention.
You are not just showing up to this and like gonna see what they have. Like you gotta. There's some level, because my family always complains when we come to Disney that like people get here and they're like, "Where's Harry Potter?" And they go, "Did you not know what you were coming to? Like you didn't research before you got here." This is that. Like you have to know what you're getting into before you get there.
Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts about it.
That's what I think.
I'm just going to say, do you think you'd go in 2028?
I would. I 1,000% would.
Yeah.
I really would. And if for nothing else, so that I could just be in the convention center for 3 days. Yeah. And like,
I mean, hello, twist my arm, get back to Disney.
You know, I'm like, I would go back next month if you, like,
no kidding.
If the opportunity arose.
I will tell you, we were there and it was a very hot weekend. It was more humid than it normally is there. I mean, if you're watching this, you can see how glossy I am right now. Yeah. So it's crazy to be back in 95-degree heat with like full humidity.
I was going to say, it wasn't as bad as it is right now.
No, it was not as bad as this. It was a little warm, so it's one of those, like, still be prepared for that. I know I always say it's better overall there, and it is, but it was one of those, like, pace yourself. Bring your liquid IVs. You gotta
hydrate the whole time.
Okay, before we go, I have one little thing I want to do on these from now on when I do these like person-to-person things. And this was started at a table with you. I think I went around the table and I asked everybody this question, but I want you to share with me 2 Disney characters that you think make up your personality and why.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say the 2 that I said at the table because...
That's okay. Nobody heard it but us.
Nobody heard it. And I think they still apply to me. I stand by them. So the first one is Remy because, and I told you this, that I think Remy he's very particular and kind of a perfectionist, almost to a fault, and holds himself and other people to like a really high standard. So yeah, I kind of love that he's ambitious like that.
Loves to pull hair.
He loves to pull hair, a little hair pull.
Yeah.
It's the Slytherin in me that maybe has all of those same qualities. But the second character I say is Olaf because on the opposite end of that spectrum, I'm also I just enjoy the simple joys in life, and I love to be happy, and I love for other people to be happy, and if I can bring like some happiness to somebody's day, then it makes me happy. I'm also a little random at times, so
I think that's a nice
Olaf and Remy balance.
I feel like
silly goose.
Since I haven't shared mine yet, I'll have to do it now too. Is that I said Nick Wilde.
Yeah.
I am very much the Chandler Bing of a Disney character, where it's like I use a lot of sarcasm and deflection to bounce off. Like, I'm not an overly like huggable, emotional, whatever. I can be emotional, but in my own on my own terms, on my own thing. But I do also, once you're in, I feel like with like a Judy Hopps, it's a very like, you're very important to me and you mean the world to me. And it's like, so I'm very like passionate about that, but I'm also very much like, well, I don't really like people, like not true, but you know what I mean? Like it's your immediate defense mechanism. I can't remember the other character I said though. When I said it, I think I said Simba. Because I said, I think I have a bad habit of running, sometimes the knee jerk being like, I messed up a situation and I'm scared and I run away. But I ultimately find some really good friends that I think can give me the love and support that it takes to go back and fight those battles that need to be fought and ultimately come out on top.
But also the friends that...
And also I love to eat a random handful of grubs every now and then.
Who doesn't love a bug?
Yeah, well...
But
it's tough to be a bug.
Accept the compliment, because you need friends that show you that you are destined for the things that you don't believe.
And I think that's ultimately the thing. I think, and also my name in Gaelic does mean little king. But I'm like, I do think there's an element to that where I like, were I to be a king, I would be a king that rules by council, not by individual, because I do believe a group. It's the same reason I went to film school. I think everybody's got something really meaningful to contribute, and I don't know, and I'm always looking for that. And and so I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll feel the love tonight. Who knows? Maybe
put them on the throne, everybody.
I think that's what I have for today. It might change, it might ebb and flow, but thank you for having this conversation with me.
Thank you for having
sitting
me.
in the shade with me.
Yeah,
because like.
We needed. I was gonna sit here anyway, so.
I told you before you got here, I was embarrassed. I was like in the Star Traders, and it was like. I was looking down and there was a puddle forming underneath me. It was so bad.
This shirt was a different color before I got off of the Skyliner.
I have that Roosevelt shirt on right now that, like, thank God. I was like, I don't know, I'm testing the limits of it not showing the sweat on it right now, but I think it's close to it. But thank you everybody for listening or watching. If you enjoy this, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the bell. You're going to get notified whenever I upload any sort of content. And if you're listening to this and you want to reach out further, I have an email set up. It's email Ryno here. Ryno is spelled RYNO @gmail.com. So I would love to hear from you, other discussion topics. Hey, share with us your Disney character personality things. 2 characters, 4 characters. Who do you think my characters are? I want to keep doing this. I haven't settled on a great name for this, but it's still part of At the Parks with Ryno. I also have that Patreon set up, so patreon.com/Ryno1185. All those links and everything like that are in this video if you're watching it on YouTube. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Trey, again. And I guess I'll just see you later. I'm like so sweaty right now.
It's really hot. It's really sticky. I'm just sticky everywhere.